waving to my crowd of adoring fans, but hello and welcome to another video. Today I am steeking and I'm afraid. So I think I've mentioned this in a couple other videos that I was like thinking about steeking things in the new year, and we're sticking to it. I have two sweaters here that I'm going to steek and make into cardigans. Let me give you a little bit of background on them.
For some reason, at no point in this intro clip that I think it would be important to mention what steeking is. I just assume you would know for some reason, but essentially, to sum it up very quickly, it's just cutting into your knitting, so which is not something you normally do. This can be to make a cardigan, which is what I'm going to do in this video, but you can also do it for like a variety of other reasons. You can cut open like armholes and knit stuff in tubes. It's very cool. It opens a lot of doors. But yeah, that's what steeking means.
We have this sweater here. I made this basically a year ago, and it is just like a raglan knit. It was not meant to be steeked. At the time I wanted it as a sweater. However, I've not really worn it much and I don't love the fit of it. And I actually think I'd get a lot more wear out of it if it was a sweater. It is a sweater. If it was a cardigan. So that's why I'm going to steek it. Another reason is also just because the other project I've like just finished, this one I'm kind of okay with this being like my steeking, dipping my toe into steeking with this one. Like if I mess up, it won't be the end of the world. I luckily still have quite a bit of the green left, so I'm going to be using that, and then I'm going to steek down the middle. Exciting. Next is the cardigan that I literally just casted off. It's not a cardigan yet, but it will be. I came up with the chart myself. It's something that I drew like a long time ago, and I have finally made it a reality. It's really tight right now, so I need to block it before I even attempt to steek it because I'm a little worried about the fit. But hopefully it all works out. And this one I want to do like a double knit button band, like I want to get a little fancy with it. And I did for the first time, you can't tell, but I did, well you can't see it right now, but I did twisted rib, which love that, it's so pretty. Yeah, anyways, very exciting. I need to actually watch a tutorial on how to steek because I haven't done any research. I've just seen TikToks of people doing it, and for some reason I was audacious enough to think, yeah, I could do that, no problem, don't need to watch anything. I will, but it's just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with here. We're blocking.
Kick.
Yes, I use a yoga mat as my blocking mat, and you know what? It works pretty decent. And I do not have those fancy pins. I just have sewing pins. And again, it gets the job done. Okay. It looks a little wacky, I'm aware. I'm not saying this is the correct way to block, but this is the way I'm gonna do it. I've finally watched two tutorials, one by Very Pink Knits and one by Katie Green. I'll link them both down in the description. Very helpful. They both do a crochet reinforcement, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. I did kind of forget that like technically I should be doing like steeking is only supposed to happen with wool, and while they are natural fibers, there are animal fibers as well. It's not all 100% wool, so we're gonna see how that plays out. I'm not super concerned, but good to keep in mind. Anyways, so I'm gonna do a crochet reinforcement And then probably on that crochet reinforcement, I'm not gonna lie, I'm also gonna do a little sewing just to really secure, because I'm so afraid stuff is gonna unravel, which I think is normal. We're doing my tester piece first. I've put a little safety pin where the middle is, and so I'm gonna go in with, luckily I had some wool left, and I'm gonna go in and do a crochet reinforcement. Yeah, this is not a tutorial, by the way, like please know, I'm simply showing you, I just want like a record of my process. I don't know. Suddenly I don't know how to go in. Okay, I might have to rewatch those tutorials actually. Now that I have it in front of me, I'm like, where am I supposed to crochet? Okay, I've done like literally the smallest amount of it. The ribbing, I have to say, I don't think you're supposed to steek through ribbing, or maybe you are, but it's not the easiest thing to figure out, like where to crochet, but I did end up getting it. It's going a little quicker now that I'm here. That being said, seeing the stitches in the navy is so difficult. Like I feel like I'm going blind a little. I have to say, I think the tutorial that was the most helpful was definitely the Katie Green one. She has like illustrations throughout it, and I really do feel like I got like a better idea of where I'm supposed to be crocheting. Another thing to mention, I like genuinely don't actually know how to crochet. I know like basically nothing. I have trouble tensioning my yarn when I'm crocheting. I don't really, like, no one ever really taught me how to crochet. I just kind of figured it out as I was going along, which means that I don't really know what I'm doing ever. And I could just like look it up and figure that out, but you know, where's the fun in that? Oh, I keep going sideways. What the? I'm so annoyed. I have finally finished this side. I'm not gonna lie, it took a lot longer than I thought it would. I started, I'm not sure at what time, I feel like it was like 10:30, and it's basically 12 now. So that took a while. I'm gonna do the other side, so this little bit, and then hopefully we'll be ready to cut. I might do sewing actually as well. I'll show you. Anyways, we'll see. Woo! I guess right now you can't tell, but it's like kind of wavy, and I'm not sure if that's okay. I feel like it'll be fine, hopefully. I'm being ambushed. What are you doing, George? This is his new thing. He just wants to like steal my sweaters and run away with them. I've once again not explained a key component of this process, which is why am I doing a crochet reinforcement, and that's basically it's going to secure the stitches, and then it also splits the middle stitch that you're going to steek down, so it makes it easier to actually see where you need to cut. That's it. We have finished crocheting, doing the crochet reinforcement. It's kind of wavy, like I don't know how obvious that is, but it's like doing a lettuce hem situation. I'm not sure why. I'm just gonna continue as if all is well. I am also going to reinforce on the sewing machine because I'm scared. And as much as I was like, I don't like this sweater, I don't want my months of hard work, because this sweater did take me months to make, because it's like a fingering weight knit. Like I knit this on 3.5 millimeters, so like she took a minute to do. All that to say, I don't want all that to go to waste, so I am gonna do like just a straight stitch on each side as well, just to really cement. And then we're gonna do the button band, which I've actually never done. I have never knit a button band, so I'm gonna need to again watch a YouTube tutorial on how to do that. Oh, and also my other sweater, despite I literally blocked it yesterday, like last night, and it's already dry, so I'm excited to go take that out and like hopefully it blocked well. We're here on the floor. I'm gonna cut into it. I normally would use my fabric scissors, except they're pretty big, so I'm gonna use hair trimming scissors. Don't ask me why we have these. They're pretty useful though. That's what I use to cut my bangs. I'm very nervous. I'm very afraid, but we need to trust the process. Like it really does pull apart. Like you can see the ladder there. So I know exactly where to cut. I guess I'm just gonna, oh, it's actually terrifying. Oh. Okay. Here we go. Oh my god. Oh, I don't. Oh, this is like actually terrifying. Oh. I'm like having a nervous breakdown about this. Ooh, okay. There we go. It is officially a cardigan. Well, not officially. I still have to do the button band. Actually, let me try this on. Let's see what it looks like right now. Don't mind the fact that we're in my bathroom. Let's try this on. Oh, I'm so nervous. Okay, so the wave has continued. I'm not sure why. I think if I pick up the button band though, it's gonna be okay. I'm hoping. But here's the update of the situation. It's kind of cute like this. I think it's kind of fun just open. This was my Christmas gift. The Chiugu interchangeable needle sets. I've used them already to knit the other piece that I'm steeking, and I have to say I really love it. It's been really fun. So yeah, I'm gonna use them today and I'm very excited. I'm actually also gonna join two cables together because I've decided I'm actually gonna knit both sides of the button band at the same time. Just that way we don't get like the second sock syndrome. I know this is not a pair of socks obviously, but I just feel like that would happen, and I just feel like it's gonna be easier if I do it this way. This is what happens though in the winter, is like I cannot see anything once it hits like 4 o'clock. I have to use my little it's like a little night light, it feels like. I've been zooming through my ribbing. I've made some pretty decent progress. I mentioned as well that I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch a tutorial on how to make like buttonholes. I didn't do that. I just decided that I was gonna use the sewing machine after and put them in. Yeah, I just didn't have it in me to do that. There's probably a way to do it without having to like have 2 separate balls of yarn, but then I just thought it would get really complicated and I just didn't want to do that. So I decided I wasn't going to. Also, I don't actually have buttons for this. I don't think. I need to check, but I don't think I have any buttons that work for this. So I might need to go buy some, and then I was like, I just want to get at least the ribbing done.
You got the kick.
Here it is. Pretty happy. I am actually gonna reblock it, which I know might seem a little odd, but I just feel like it'll just kind of even everything out. As I said, I don't have buttons yet, or like I should go through my button stash and figure out the situation. I am going to like thrifting a little bit tomorrow to a store that has normally a lot of buttons, so I'm going to take a look there as well. What I do have to do, however, I know I'm not going to weave in my ends right away, but I am going to try to tack down just the top bit here, if that makes sense. Just because it's poking out a little bit, so I'm going to tack probably the top bit here and then the bottom bit as well somehow. But in the meantime, let me show you the other sweater. Here, I put it on my mannequin last night. I'm not sure why. It was like, so here it is. I haven't actually tried it on myself though, so let's do that. That feels weird to have done that. I feel like I should not have. Oh, perfect. Yeah, it's really good. like the armpits have relaxed like the perfect amount so that it's not tight. It's good. The one thing that you can probably tell a little bit, oh my god, my cats are fighting at my door, but you can really see where I had the pins in, which I'm sure if you like saw me blocking, you were like, well, yes, that was gonna happen. Yeah, I'm not sure how this is gonna turn out. I'm hoping it turns out well, but who knows. I'm gonna go block this, then I'm gonna start the crochet reinforcement at least here. And I'm gonna do the crochet reinforcement in this yarn. I didn't talk about what this yarn was. Let me actually first do that. I have a little left over, but it was the camarose lamold. It's the 50% llama, 50% wool. I don't know what color. I believe it's their dusty rose. I feel like that's what it was called, but I can't quite remember. Anyways, I'm gonna do the crochet reinforcement in that just because the other yarn is like an alpaca, so I feel like that might not be the best option for like stickiness and like actually holding everything together. Before I start putting the crochet reinforcement, I've just actually put little stitch markers. They're not actually stitch markers, there's literally just those safety pins you sometimes get when you buy stuff, but I've put them all along the central stitch that would be steeked, and so that's kind of like my guide. And we're done. Well, at least the crochet reinforcement. I'm definitely still gonna sew down this bit right here just because I realized why people do those little stitches there, and that's because that's to secure all that yarn, because I just have floats in the back, and that's not gonna cut it because I'm literally gonna cut it. So that's a little concerning that I didn't think of that. So learn from my mistakes, you know? I don't know why it's still done the squiggly thing, the squiggly line here. Don't know what's up with that. It's not as pulled apart like the other one. The ladders were like super obvious. This one, not so much. So I'm gonna have to be careful when I cut through. But yeah, that's the update. As I was talking about, I'm gonna sew down on each side like I did with the other sweater, and then we're cutting. Woo! Very exciting. I'm a little more nervous about this one just because of the floats, which is why especially that I think it's going to be so important to sew. Yeah, I don't know that I did this one completely correctly in the sense of like I should have done stitches to hold everything together, but I didn't, so we're just gonna work with what we have and hopefully it all goes to plan. My cat has apparently decided this is the perfect spot for her to chill out. Hello. I think it's because it's in the sun. Okay, perfect. She's gone. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be fine. It's a little less obvious here. I feel like it's pulled the stitch apart a little less, or maybe the stitches were just tighter. So it's probably gonna be a little bit of a slower situation. Oh, oh my god, I didn't realize I just cut through my first floats. Okay. I'm so afraid. Okay, that's that. I did it. Now we just have to hope it doesn't fall to pieces, which I'm a little afraid it's going to. I don't know how to, like, actually secure this is. I think it's secure. I'm sure it's fine. I'm just terrified it's not. I've picked up half the button band. I'm doing a slightly different one this time. I'm doing a double knitted button band. I watched a tutorial from Starcross Knits. I have to rewatch it actually. Picked up all my stitches. I have 115 on each, and I'm placing my buttons. Let me show you the buttons I ended up getting. I found them, I went to like my favorite kind of crafty thrift store, and I found these. I think they're, oh my god, I'm gonna drop them. They're like kind of little pearly ones. I think they'll complement well what we've got going on here. I also found these really nice green ones, but they only had 3, and I was like, maybe I can like intersperse, but I think that'll look weird, so I'm just gonna stick with the pearlies. I only have 5 though, which is kind of frustrating, but you know what? It's okay, we've accepted. I'm gonna place little stitch markers, which are really just like little safety pins where I want. I'm gonna like measure it all out, and then I'm going to do, following the tutorial, I'm going to do a double knitted button band. I don't honestly have an idea of how that's gonna work, but we're just gonna roll with it. I feel like it's gonna work out. Gotta believe in myself. We have the start of a double knitted button band. It looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I had to watch the tutorial like 10 times. I also started one and then I was like, whoa, this is massive, and then I undid it and restarted. But we've got it in the end. I love the way it looks thus far. I've just hit a buttonhole, so I'm gonna like go back to the tutorial and figure out how to do that. But this is my progress on this side, and now I'm over here. I'm going to actually cast on for this one. You do like an Italian cast on, which I've never done before. Part of the reason that it was so challenging was because I'd never done an Italian cast, like an Italian cast on, a bind on. I don't know how you say that, but I had to figure out how to do that, and I feel like it's not the most obvious thing in my opinion. So that took me a second to get the hang of, because it's very just like free floating, if that makes any sense. Like it's just like, it's purely just twists. Like there's no like actual like stability to this until you start knitting it, obviously. Okay, hold, I need to actually, yeah, so it was a bit of a challenge at the beginning, but I persevered and then I ended up getting it, so that's nice. I casted on 14, so it's like about 7 wide. Okay, I figured out how to do the button band on the other side, and that is simply by doing it from the top. I don't know if there's another way to start it from the bottom when you're doing the left panel, but this is what I found, and you know what? I'm okay. So let us rejoice that I figured it out. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. What is it that I'm doing? Yes, I'm casting off the ribbing. That's right. I did the button band on both sides. The ribbing on the top, and now I'm finishing the ribbing on the bottom. I don't want to sound like a gym bro, but I've been grinding this out the past couple days and have not filmed because I've just been going at it. But yeah, I'm done almost this one, and then so I'll block it. You'll see the try on clip in a moment because I haven't actually really tried it on yet and I'm a little nervous, but we'll see how it goes. And then I have this one, our second version, that's come out of the blocking stage, and I just need to do buttonholes and then we'll be done. I figured out how to do buttonholes, which the first one was a little rough, but after that I got the hang of it. It's the tutorial that I watched, not to reference it for the millionth time, but it really is excellent, and it's a great, like, it really very clear instructions on what to do. I think I mentioned I did my first Italian like cast on, I think it is, or like tubular cast on. I don't really know what it was, but it's the first time I've done one and it was a little rough. I had to restart quite a few times, but it's okay, got it in the end. I'm also doing twisted rib, which it was fine on the cuffs, but that's like 30 stitches, so obviously it's not going to bother me. It was also in the round there. Doing it flat, I have to say purling through the back loop is not my favorite thing, but I did it. I do really like the look of it though, so it was worth it to me. That being said, I did just do a plain cast off edge. Like, I was really like, it doesn't matter. Last stitch. Yeah, I definitely need to give my hands a break though, because they were hurting a little bit the other day. And I was like, okay, we'll take a couple days off knitting. I don't know if I would wear it with this top exactly, but I'm not changing, so. Oh, okay. It's pretty cute. It's a little tight maybe in the armpits, which has been the issue. I definitely think I could have knit it a little bigger. Just like a couple more rows here would have been nice. I did also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but like when I was making this chart, I like miscalculated stuff. So like I thought I was gonna actually have more stitches on my needle at the end, and then I didn't. It's like a whole thing, but math is not my strong suit, clearly.
Then, as I said I would, I used my sewing machine to sew the buttonholes. I used a button foot that actually came with this machine. Honestly, not the smoothest process, but it worked out in the end. I ended up using my seam ripper to open all the buttonholes. Again, I don't know how secure this is, but it is what we've got. Sewed all the buttons that night, and then here's the reveal. Look at her. She's stunning. I think it looks probably best with the 2 buttons done. I don't love this 4-button look. Actually, I don't hate it, but I do love the little 2 buttons for some reason.
Doing this in the middle of a snowstorm, not my best idea, but you know, you live and you learn.
After that brief intermission, here's the second one. This one I think I have mixed feelings about, let's just say. I definitely like just a one-button look, but as I kept saying, it's a little too tight. I miscalculated some stuff, but I think it's a good first sample. And you know what? That's good enough. Especially it's my first time designing a piece like this. I do really like this keyhole look, by the way.
That's it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it's made you maybe a little more confident to try steeking. Honestly, it was really fun, and I'm already thinking of more projects that I can steek. So highly encourage you to try it out for yourself. Maybe follow a pattern. Don't make the mistakes I made, you know. But I think I mentioned quickly in the voiceover, I'm pretty happy with both of them. There's definitely some fit issues with this one, but you know what? I definitely will still wear them, and I'm gonna like refine the patterns. I'm already thinking of different things that I can do with this because it was a lot of fun. I have already a video filmed and almost fully edited for next week. So it's about natural dyeing. Hopefully that interests you. I don't know. Otherwise, I'm gonna knit my first petite knit pattern soon. So I will definitely make a video about that, and some other stuff as well is in the pipeline. So stick around. Thank you for watching.